folks, they say that no matter how far you run or how far you go, where you hide, no matter where, try to outrun the past as much as you want. You never truly can, because no matter where you go, you always bring yourself. Some people say that's a curse, but I think of it as a blessing. You know, we only get one time in this life. We might as well learn to love ourselves. Anyway, folks, we're just doing more Ogryn stuff. What can I say? I love the Power Mall. It's funny. It's good. I never in my life did I think I would be doing nothing but the Power Mall. But we got Skull Crusher opportunities. We're running Twin Linked Heavy Stubber with Blaze Away and Overwhelming Fire for the Talons. You know what we got. Heavyweight Smash them. Best Defense. Big Friendly Rock. Soften them up. Pumped up. Indomitable Stomping Boots. Trample. Strike True. Batter. Slam it. Bonebreaker's Aura. Attention Seeker. No Pushover. Bruiser. Get Stuck In. Frenzied Blows. Dominate. Delight and Destruction. Heavy Hitter. Unstoppable. Just Getting Started. And Impactful. That's the build. Let's get into a game, shall we? Alrighty, folks, and we're in. I got two. Wow, this guy looks cool. Guy looks like a mini. Speaking of Warhammer, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I finished the Lilith Hesbrax book today. Once again, it's a very short audiobook. It's only like 6 hours, give or take. Very short. Very good. I liked it. It was a nice little short. Oh, no, I say short story. It is 6 hours. I guess that is a full book. I'm just used to most Warhammer books are like 12-hour plus. Or around that. It's a cool book. Nothing like it's I like the book because nothing like galactic happens in it. It's literally just this one character's like experience in multitudes. So obviously the book titled Lilith Hesbrax is about Lilith Hesbrax, the succubi, the great succubi of the cult of strife, the witch cult of strife. She's, you know, a big name in Kamara. She's the Queen of Knives, right, or Queen of Blades, one of the two. And it's a nice story. Minor spoilers ahead. It is the story of, oh my god, I forgot her name. Lilith Hesbrax and this other Drukhari woman known as, I want to say Morgan Blackhand, but I don't think it's Morgan. I'm gonna Google it when I'm safe in a second here because I can't remember. And I feel bad whenever I forget what characters. Lilith Hesbrax. Scab Trapper around here. I want to say it's Morgan Blackhand, but I think Morgan Blackhand is a separate character. Oh, it is Morgana. It just might not be Blackhand. We'll just call her Morgana. See if okay, whatever. It's just Morgana. We'll say it for now because I cannot find her last name. But she's the Queen Succubus of the Witch of the 13 Blades or whatever, or 13th Moon or something. And it is ultimately about the story of Lilith Hesbrax and Morgana having to come to terms with the fact that they are experiencing genuine connection with another of their species that is not just in the context of feeding the soul thirst, like, you know, the getting down and nasty with it. Because obviously, if you don't know, the Drukhari experience this thing called the soul thirst. It is literally Slaanesh sucking away their soul. And the way they stave off this soul thirst is by engaging in, you know, the Drukhari practices. Torture, fighting, you know, murder, it's just inflicting pain, but also like doing drugs and like banging and having orgies and all that stuff. And it's this moment of Lilith being like, she is unfamiliar to these feelings. It's not like, you know, she's old, but she's not like She's not ancient. She wasn't there when the Eldari fell, right? So she's never experienced these emotions. She's purely a creature of Kamara. And she's come to terms with like these things. She was like, the first time she realized she wasn't afraid of the fight, she didn't want to kill Morgana. You know, since obviously they were like rival witches in the story, or rival witch cults in the story, she was like, holy fuck, if push comes to shove, I don't actually want to kill Morgana. And it's especially nice from Lilith's perspective because, one, she is a character of like, she's not an Asdrubal Vect. She's not manipulative. She's not planning. She is. When it comes to Lilith Hesperex, what's on the box is what you get. She's covered in knives and she murders people. She's one of the best duelists in the galaxy, second to none, other than maybe like the Lionel Johnson, and maybe Trajan Valoris can give her a run for the money. But in the first like 2-3 chapters, she beats a Harley Quinn in a one-on-one. So like, you know, she's nothing to sneeze at. And spoiler for later in the book, she defeats Asdrubal Vect in a one-on-one as well. Because that's how good of a duelist she is, right? So she's a very like, not simple-minded, but she is a sort of one-direction character. She's here to kill. She wants the greatest fights she can get, and she wants to fight stronger and stronger enemies. And she was helping Yvraine out in the Ynnari. If you don't know, Yvraine is obviously the lady who helped revive Gilliman. She's the aspect of this god of death named, I think, Ynnari. I might be misremembering the name. And one thing that, and to join the Ynnari, it's like this little like cult or movement or whatever. Every Eldar from every creed, including well, not necessarily the Harley Quinns, because obviously they serve the Laughing God, but they'll help the Ynnari out. They just won't officially join their ranks. Because, you know, they're servants of Kekarak, not the god of death. They're the god of silly, lay epic troll. So when Drukhari joined the Ynnari and fight alongside Yvraine, she has the ability to remove the soul thirst from them. So Lilith coming back to Kamara, even though this, you know, only when, you know, it's a temporarily removal that only really can happen when they're near Yvraine, right? Because when Lilith comes back to Kamara, she's like, oh my god, I'm feeling the soul thirst, and I've never noticed it like this before, right? Because it's always been like something that's always been there, so she got used to it. But then, you know, it went away, and she felt the universe without it. And she still wanted to like kill and do things. That's like her thing, is she's a fighter. She wants to fight and kill people. So coming back to Comrade with this fresh perspective, and then it like hitting her in the face like, oh my god, I care about this girl. I mean, the book's full of lesbian yearning, essentially. Ow! And apparently Mike Brooks still fails charges with her in the tabletop, even though he gave her a girlfriend. Fuck that world. And even Morgana, who did not have the fresh perspective of the not having the soul thirst. She only comes to realize she gives a fuck about Lilith in the end, and it's not that she hates Lilith in a way, it's that she feels betrayed, because Lilith did kind of, to put it in Morgana's terms, abandon her, right? They were friends and like, I don't know, well, maybe not friends, as close as friends as you can get in Kamara. They were allies and compatriots in the fighting pits of the homunculus that raised them. And there was a genuine connection that formed that neither of them realized, because that's just not something that happens in Drukhari society. Yes, in Drukhari society you can do all the pleasures of the flesh. You can go have as many orgies as you want, and no one's going to bat an eye. And Lilith does attend an orgy in the book, and she bangs her blood brides, right? So, you know, Drukhari aren't unfamiliar with these feelings, but in sort of like, once again, The Dark Eldar are a other side of the coin for the normal Eldar. While the Dark Eldar can experience all the sins of the flesh, they kind of don't understand the emotions of normal Eldari, even though, normal Eldari suppress themselves because obvious reasons. But, it's still there. It was just really nice. Really nice in this, like, just seeing, like, wow. Just it adds more to characters like Lilith Hesperax, who are kind of like one note by design. You're like, oh wait, no, this is a living, breathing creature in 40k. But yeah, the book is full of lesbian yearning, and if you're into that shit, this is the book for you. Well, now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to listen to next. I think it's going to be the Devastation of Baal or Mephiston, Lord of Blood. It's going to be a Blood Angels book, more than likely. Because I haven't actually heard any Blood Angels books. So. Like, straight up, the only thing I've ever heard about Blood Angels is, like, from the Night Lords books, where there were Blood Angels that they were fighting. Where Talos got his fancy sword. And then obviously Dante is in Son of the Forest for a bit. But I haven't listened to a Blood Angel book.
Very well. I am fluent in all 101 core Bimharic cants of the 89th discipline.
Careful. You don't want to get too emotional, you'll sprain something.
I love my metal-faced wife. But I do want to know more about Mephiston, because I think, from what I understand, is that he is like the... Other than like Malkador and obviously the Emperor and Magnus, is that he is the strongest Psyker the Imperium's ever had, or something like that? Or is like he's the strongest current Psyker in the universe? Maybe other than, I guess, the Emperor, if we're still counting him as being alive. And I just want to know, who would win in a brain fight, Mephiston or Tigurius? Because they've both stared into the hive mind and lived. So, and that's nothing to hoot and holler at about. I guess it is something to hoot and holler about, but it's nothing to be like, whoa. Or it is something to be like, whoa, they survived that? That's crazy. I always forget this button is here. There's a monstrosity on the way. Yeah, I think it might be Devastation of Baal, because I've been wanting to hear some Tyranid action. Love me some nids. I mean, you know who has what 40k books have the best Tyranid action in my opinion? One, Highfleet Leviathan, obviously. I think Leontis is about Tyranids as well. But the Caiaphas Cain books have really good Tyranid action.
I'm not entirely sure how that is possible. That's idea almost
Man, I missed the start of that interaction. It's so cute. I love Ogryns. They're so cute and silly. I need to... Oh, you know what I actually want to listen to? So there's this book called, I think it's called The Gate of Bones or whatever. It's this like sort of like almost like mafia crime vibe thing, where this little like, you know, the classic of the big guy and the schemer, you know, like the tiny schemer, where it's a ratling and an Ogryn in like some hive city, and they got some hive gangs after him, and that just seems like fun. I need books with more Ogryns, and I need a book that has an Ogryn as a pivotal character. I love Ogryn so much. Oh, you know, I'm gonna... Actually, no, before I get into the other thing I was talking about, I did want to talk about... You ever think how silly the name Space Marines are? It's like, it's so... Like, if you think of it outside of the context of, like, the lore, it's like, yep, these are Marines in space, therefore they will be my Space Marines. It's like, okay, buddy. Like, obviously in the lore, they're called Adeptus Astartes, but it's like... In the way it's like, oh, I've never heard of the Astra Militarum. I'm in the Guard, son. You know. It's just my Space Marines. They're my Marines in space. That's why they're called Space Marines. Hungry. Yeah, I'm never one to be like... I've never one to really experience like gender envy, typically, from like other people. But there are times where I'm like, man, sometimes like there was this really like cute and pretty girl, and I wanted to like sometimes I was like, man, if I was a female, if I had, you know, if I was a woman, if I had the woman instead of the male, I could be like, oh my goodness, you're so pretty. But if I did it as, you know, me, like, there's no way to read it other than like flirting a lot of the way. It's like it's like I mean, this is the thing you can do with like gendered thing. It's a little hard to do with men, like to men, because a lot of men will just be like, oh, what are you flirting with me, and get really aggressive with it. But just being able to like be like, wow, you look really good, you know, I'm gonna explode, you know. Like we live in a society. Society. Keep on trying me. That song is fucking ass. Can I just say that? Anxiety by Doichi or whatever her name is. That song is straight up cheeks. It's straight up poop from the cheeks.
Whatever comes next, you'll do better as a group. My thanks.
It's not, like, I hate that song. Ow. I was gonna be like, die. Woo. my neck.
Shot goes in, it goes out.
I thought I timed that so right.
Most appreciated. I see a flame. Flame up.
I'm gonna get trapped there, yeah. Don't shoot me. Ow. Okay, I did recover it. Huge. Alrighty. Whew. Okay, I gotta get to my allies. I didn't even see where that dog was. I kind of just went by sound. Yeah, let's just keep coming towards the hallway. There's a plague Ogryn somewhere. Found it. Ooh, look at that chunk. There. You gotta save the rations, folks. Save the rations. I want to know what happens if we...
Surely everyone, citizen or heretic, fled the oncoming flames.
I don't imagine we'll ever find out. Fire doesn't often leave.
Ammo crate. The trapper is neutralized.
Meow. Oh my, I was hitting my bull charge, wondering why it wasn't going off. It wasn't up. Seemed so much damage for what? You know, as we're getting towards the end of the mission, I'm going to talk about some useless twinner drama that serves only to entertain me. So, Ludwig, you might know him, quirked up white boy. He is a streamer known for keeping it #real. Right, he's very upfront about what his goals are as a streamer. He's very like, you know, I'm not here to be your friend, I'm here to make money. Right, and if I entertain you along the way, even better. He had the opinion recently. He was talking about Hassan, and he was like, yeah, I don't know if it was a shot caller or not. He did eventually post a video. He was like, okay, I was shown it wasn't a shot caller, so I know it's not a shot caller. So that's whatever. If you don't know, there was some... So, Hassan has a dog named Kaya. I don't know what type of dog it is. I think it's a golden. I don't know. It's a big old fluffy dog. But the dog, when getting up on her bed, she like hurt her foot or something. She like got her dew claw stuck, so she yelped. And people just immediately assumed, well, some people, like, I don't like Hassan, but I don't need to make stuff up about him to not like him. People were making up, like, oh my god, he just electrocuted his dog. Which is, you know, where you've probably seen the Arbides meme with Hassan and the damn, Cyber Mastiff. I almost called it K9. And that's it. That was literally the entire drama. So people, and Kaya is very much a trained dog. You know, people have said, oh my gosh, if this dog was abused, it's the most spoiled, abused dog in the world. But she's trained. She's trained, you know, she has a vibro collar on, which does look like a shock collar, but it's not. Hassan showed it on stream. It's a vibro collar. If you don't know what that does, when the dog does something it's not supposed to, Hassan hits a button and the dog gets a little vibration. It's literally, it's not painful at all. It's just like a little shock. It's like, hey, well, not a shock. It's not a shock collar. It's just like, hey, hey, stop that. So people just, you know, and now people are trying to spin it, being like, oh my god, Hassan forces his dog to sit still for hours at a time out of fear. It'll be punished if he doesn't move, if it moves from the stream. And it's like, folks, I mean, I know this is all being done in bad faith because they don't like Hassan, but like, the idea that a dog laying there for 6 hours with in the room where their human is, it's just like, folks, you gotta do better. We can dislike Hassan for a multitude of reasons, okay? That's the fun thing about humanity, is that we got multitudes or whatever. But anyway, you're caught up on the drama. And also, like, it's, you know, very funny that the people trying to shit on Hassan, you know, like, oh my god, he abuses his dog, voted in the guy that elected Kristi Noem #1 dog shooter in the world to her fucking, to his cabinet, and they didn't bat an eye, right? Anyway, Ludwig was talking about it, and he did say it's not a shock collar. He got shown it wasn't a shock collar, so he's not, alright, cool, it's not a shock collar. Okay, well, whatever, those are fake. But Ludwig has said, like, you know, he doesn't really care about this because Hassan's not his friend. And people are like, oh my god, what? Ludwig's like, yeah, I collab with him, he's a coworker, but, like, we're not friends. You know, I'm not, you know, my buddies are Slime, Aiden, and Nick, and, you know, so-and-so. And Hassan's just a coworker. Like, he's, you know, we're not cool. It's the Mythbusters all over again. He's like, he's not going to go to my funeral. I'm not going to go to his. When I retire, he's not going to be one of the people I talk to. Which is incredibly normal guy.tm. Not every streamer are friends. Like, a lot of them are coworkers. That's just how it is. And for some reason, Hassan's fan base have just a horseshoe theory, you know what I'm saying? They're essentially trying to paint him as this villain of like, oh my god, he backstabs Hassan. I'm like, is it a backstab if Ludwig's not even holding a knife or in the same room? It's just like, he's not friends with Hassan, what's the problem? Anyway, if you missed one video, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, or don't. I'm not your mother, but you better brush your teeth. Now have a good one. Bye-bye.